thought it wasn't gonna happen at first, man. You know what I mean? Like it goes, a lot goes into getting traded. I'm feeling grateful, anxious, but at the same time, I know what I gotta do coming here. Helping the young guys, playing as hard as I can, and for one, thanking Tibbs. Tibbs, what up?
Hello, Knicks-Verse. This is George. Today we're going to talk about the big trade that came down yesterday. It's finalized today. Derrick Rose returns to the New York Knicks. What do we think about this trade? Well, for one, initially I had a very negative reaction. It just felt like, been there, done that. And actually, he left a bad taste in my mouth the last time he was here. That Houdini he pulled back in, when was that? January 2017. Just disappeared. The team was playing well, starting to click. I think we were about to play the Miami Heat at the time. Just disappeared on the team, and it was never the same. It was uncool. I'm sure there were reasons, whatever. It just didn't really work for me. It seemed like he really, he basically was annoyed that he wasn't going to get a long-term contract from the Knicks. That's basically what happened. He was trying to play for a contract. When he heard it wasn't going to happen, he just flipped out, went AWOL, didn't tell anybody where he went. And, it was never really explained to the fan base what happened. They just kind of let him back in, and eventually he went on to a different team. So that was odd. The other problem that I had with it was that his style of play is not really what we needed to add to the team. We need shooters. Plain and simple. Shooters. If you had watched my other video, you'd see that the one major thing that can be added to this team that could just catapult it to another level is three-point shooting. We tried Austin Rivers, didn't work out. Burks has been hot and cold and injured. Bullocks, same can be said for him. Oh man, sensational game he had yesterday. Sensational. We don't even have a chance to win that game if it weren't for Bullock's three-point shooting. Though that wasn't the key reason why we were even in that game. But that's a whole other topic. Let's stick with Derrick Rose. So we all, as a Knicks fan base, we generally despise Elfrid Payton, which I feel terrible because I'm sure he's a really nice guy. He brings something, to the table. Unfortunately, what he brings, you have to remove other things from the table to make it all work, which is basically efficiency. He does not make the players around him better. Not sure I can make that claim about Derrick Rose right now. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Haven't watched him enough lately. But I remember the Derrick Rose from before. And that really comes down to the main issue. Who are we getting? Which Derrick Rose? It seems like the Derrick Rose that the New York Knicks, Thibodeau, and D Rose wants us to believe is a more mature version is coming to the Knicks. There was someone caught him as he was entering the Garden or leaving the Garden today, I don't know, one or the other, where he basically said he understood his role. He's here to help the young guns. Hey, when I heard that, my nerves were calmed a bit. Whether that's actually genuine or not, whether that actually ends up coming to fruition on the court, we're going to see. But at least he's coming in with the right attitude. And that's a big plus. Then I was watching Knicks Fan TV, and the preacher Jay Boogie came on, and he sold me completely on it. His viewpoint was that Rose is going to come in to solidify that second unit, and he's going to make life easier for Quickley. That I liked. That I liked hearing. And then I started thinking, okay, how is that really possible? So we're talking about a second unit where Rose is going to replace Rivers. And that I'm a big fan of. Rivers. Rivers has been a complete and utter disappointment. Honestly, Rivers might be the biggest disappointment on this team, despite how much I despise Elfrid Payton's game with this starting unit. Rivers has just been flat out. I mean, it's just a disaster. Sorry, Austin. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening with you. But I hope you get it straightened out. I really do. On another team. All right. So we're talking about Rose, Quickley, Burks, Noel, and our boy Obi. Okay. That's an interesting 5. Yeah, I can see how I can solidify that. Right now, it's a little chaotic. There's a big burden on Quickley to make things happen on that unit. He's learning the point guard role, which honestly, I think he's doing a fantastic job learning it. Considering he didn't play point guard in his 2 years at Kentucky. He was playing off ball. But he's played point guard in the past, but come on, this is the NBA. And actually, point guard is the most difficult position to learn in the NBA, especially for a rookie. It takes time. It takes time. So the development he's already shown is really exciting. I believe Quickley is the starting point guard of the future for the New York Knicks, unless, you know, we luck out and land a superstar point guard, and then Quickley slides over off ball, which is fantastic. We get that kind of like what the Trailblazers have, that tandem of Lillard and McCollum. Love it. Love it. That can happen here. But if that doesn't happen, Quickley, he's our point guard. That's my opinion. Now we'll see if that ends up panning out. So the major thing causing a lot of trauma for Knicks fans, other than just the bizarre aspect of bringing someone back that, you know, left a bad taste in our mouths the first time around. Other than that, is this going to negatively impact Quickley, bringing Rose in? You know, it may not. Honestly, if Thibs, you know, beats it into Derek's head that, look, this kid, number 5 on the Knicks, we got to help this guy become an all-star himself. That's the job. That's Derrick Rose's job. Okay, we can see how that happened. Now, the problem is usage rate. Yes. So I looked at some of the numbers, and I'm only looking at this season. Rose is at 29.9% usage rate. That's 30%, basically. In comparison to the league, that would put him at 17th. 17th above Jokic in usage rate. That ain't gonna fly. Right now, we got IQ at 28.3%, which is high. Again, that is high. Hopefully that'll come down as he becomes more efficient, as he starts understanding the opportunities, reading the defense better. He won't have to just dribble. He'll find the open guy, and then the ball will come back to him. I like that type of flow in the offense. So, but how are we going to handle it? We have two guys, one 28.3%, the other one 30%. That's almost 60% usage rate just between two guys, and there's 5 guys on the floor. And already we're having an issue with how little Obi is getting the ball. So Obi's not getting the ball. Noel doesn't ever have to touch the ball. In fact, it's just a nightmare every time someone tries to pass it to him. I don't know what it is. Either he's got like little teeny hands or something, or I don't know, the man just can't catch the ball. It's like someone's throwing him a brick, a molten lava brick or something. They just can't handle it. But I do appreciate his defense, man. All right. Back to Quickley Rose combination. If the usage rate could come down for these two into the low 20s, then I think we got something. Because IQ will go back to his more natural position. Well, by natural, I mean the one he's been doing the past 2 seasons at Kentucky, which is off ball. He just has to focus on getting a shot off. He'll be moving around. Rose will find him when he's open, do some screens for him, get it, basically free him up behind the 3-point line. Right now, I mean, it's happening right now, but it could be easier, more effective. And Rose can drive to the basket, kick it out to Quickley and Burks and Obi. That's the dream. That's the dream. Because Rivers isn't doing it right now. So if we consider that Rose is just a replacement for Rivers, then this is a good trade. What did they give up? They gave up someone who was going to the G League. Sorry, DSJ. Going to the G League. It's not D League anymore, the G League. And a second rounder. I think it was going to be about the 40th pick. We weren't going to keep 4 players from the draft this year. We were going to do something, trade it away, or it just wasn't going to happen. So this was a smart move. We didn't give up much. We upgraded the position tremendously when you consider it, when you compare him to what Rivers was giving us. Okay. The potential negatives are Rivers still lingers around, and if he's on the court with Rose and Quickley, that's just not going to work. That's going to be a disaster. I just don't see it happening. Rivers just hasn't been effective enough. I don't see Thibs going that way. He really is bringing Rose in to try and solidify that second unit. So I'm in favor of this trade at the moment. The most dangerous part of it is if Rose takes away 4th quarter minutes from Quickley when he's playing with the starting unit. If I see Rose come in to play with I just even the thought of it is making me cringe. If Thibs starts falling in love with having Rose on the court, I don't know. I'm gonna cancel this channel that I've just launched. I'm gonna cancel my league pass, so I can't. It'll just be on. I'll watch Memphis, some bullshit team like that. Actually, it's a pretty good team, but I'll watch. No, I'll put all my love behind the Wizards just despite the Knicks. Let's just pray that won't happen. The main issues with Rose, however, is his efficiency way down. He's, people are like, okay, well, what does Derrick Rose bring? Oh man, the guy can drive, man. He gets to the basket. Well, you'd be surprised what's happened. Last season, his rim percentage was 66%, 66.5%. His completion rate at the rim. That is sweet. This year, 47.2%. Ooh, that's ugly. Elfrid Payton is 54.1%, which is ugly. When your whole game is getting to the rim, if you're not getting fouled at least half the time, that's a terrible stat. 54%. Quickley, his completion rate at the rim, 60%. But he hasn't, I think he's only completed like 10, it's only been like 10 attempts at the rim. However, when you factor in the under from 3 to 10 feet, plus the rim, 3 to 10 feet alone for Quickley, he's at 50%. Okay. Those are those floaters, his little magic floaters. Elfrid is at 46.7%. Rose is at 47.2%. 10 feet, less than 10 feet from the rim. Those two guys can't hit 50% of their shots. That's closer than a free throw. B-A-D. 3-point percentage. Okay, this is where it's a total travesty. We all know the horrific 3-point shooting that Elfrid brings us. That incredible he doesn't even make 1 out of 4. He's at 24% from behind the line. Rose, at least he's like a somewhat respectable 33%. That's still not great, but it's not atrocious. At least it's serviceable. 1 out of 3 times he hits 3. It's better than 1 out of 4. It's a lot better. So all those times that we see, RJ or Randall, trying to make something happen in the paint, but they get double teamed and they try to dish it out to the corner, and we all get panicked because we see that number 6 on the chest of the player who gets the ball and is about to shoot that 3. Well, now it's going to be Derrick Rose with an almost 10% greater chance that ball is going to go through the hoop. That's thankfully, that makes me sleep easier. Quickley has been trending upward, so you can only expect that those numbers are going to improve as he gets more comfortable, learns the game more. Those are only going to climb up, especially if he doesn't feel the burden of always having to initiate the offense. So now that's one of the things that having Rose on the court is going to help. And imagine all the stuff that Quickley's going to pick up from Rose. I mean, former MVP. I mean, this guy was sensational. He was a sensational player before his injury, which is, injuries suck. So in general, just kind of to wrap this up, it'll only be a good trade if Thibs resists from taking away minutes from Quickley to play Rose. That's the only way it works. And I tell you, the minute if it starts happening, oh man, the uproar in Knicks Nation, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be so tremendous. So I have a feeling that even though zebras can't change their stripes, and Thibs has shown his propensity, even on this version of Thibs with the Knicks, to lean more heavily on the vets. I just, he's a very, very smart man. I just don't see him sacrificing the development of potentially the next best guard after Rose and Butler that Thibs will have had. Yeah, I know he had the Levine for a little bit. Not sure how that worked. I know he traded for Butler, but I mean, this could be it. IQ could be Thibs's next, incredible all-star level type point guard that he hopes develop. So I have hope for that. I'm hopeful for this, which is totally different than I felt yesterday. Just shows what being able to sleep on it, right, can do. But then again, it's all about trust. We got to trust in Thibs. All right. Come back. Also, subscribe. There's going to be more content coming. Really appreciate all the support. Leave comments. I want to hear your feelings on the trade itself. And see you in the Knicks-Verse.